fixing my shirt. Waiting.
You guys good?
No.
It's still rolling. Just keep going.
Nice.
Why are you pinching your nipples?
Cause. Now get ready.
Hey everyone, I'm Boater. I'm here with Arlen and
Master Shredder.
and Brian. I've actually been trying to get Brian on the show for a while. So you saw last week's episode where we made the poutine. This is actually the same day, and we're actually filming this before that one because time.
Movie magic.
Now it's just time for dessert, and we are making Brian's balls. Right?
Yes.
Yes. Hey. All right. I'm Boater. Let's cook some balls. Okay.
That's specifying cake balls.
Okay.
That's
so,
theme song.
Okay, so by balls, Brian, come here. I want to talk about your balls a little more.
Hi.
By balls, we're talking actually about cake balls. So
Yes.
Go ahead and tell me what we're actually doing.
For the last few years, right around the holiday season, I have been known to my family and my circle of friends here to make red velvet cake balls. Now, a lot of people have cake pops. They have the machines that make them, and they're wrong. You don't make them that way. That is wrong. You are missing out on a fantastic part of it. So, the key to making cake balls properly is you bake the cake, and then you also have the frosting mashed in with the cake before you ice them. That way you get the full cake, flavor of both the cake flavor and the frosting flavor. And with the red velvet cake, where you have the cocoa of the red velvet cake part and the cream cheese frosting, it's all mixed together into one. And then it's iced with either white chocolate or vanilla candy.
We're actually doing, instead of just using a mix, which Brian typically does, I have a recipe for a red wine velvet cake recipe that we're going to turn into the cake balls. And yeah, it has red wine in it, which makes it even more fantastic. Yes!
We're adulting!
We're adulting! I adulted a little too hard last night. It's on an ingredient board, you're not looking swell. So, but if you can, please tell us what the heck we're gonna need for the red wine velvet cake balls.
2 sticks of unsalted butter. 2 3/4 cups of flour. 2 cups of dark brown sugar. 2/3 cups of sugar. 4 eggs.
For the butter and the eggs, they recommend to have it at room temperature, so we're gonna abide by that, and we have all the things at room temperature.
Dogs are
We
everywhere!
have the dogs here too!
Come here. Dogs are room temperature as well.
Oh. Come here,
And
your
the
turn.
views just went
Your
up.
turn.
We're gonna make puppy poutine to keep this up.
So yeah, eggs and butter at room temperature or thereabouts.
2 cups of red wine.
So it says for the red wine, it literally says in the directions you can use any kind you like. We're choosing the Apothic Dark. I'm gonna try it with this. Anything that has kind of a dark chocolate base or something that would go really well with chocolate or anything like that is a good bet that it's gonna taste amazing.
2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. 1 1/3 cups of cocoa powder. Half a teaspoon of baking soda. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. 3/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. 3/4 teaspoon of salt.
So you mentioned that we're also doing the frosting as part of the ingredients. Ingredient board, what are we going to need for the frosting as well?
16 ounces of mascarpone cheese. 2 1/3 cups of confectionery sugar. Salt. 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract.
It's a mascarpone cheese-based frosting to go with this red wine velvet cake, so it's going to be mascarpone cheese inside and then covered it with the dipping chocolate as well. But it's awesome. Like, I could just eat this by itself.
I'm already hungry. Okay, you look like you're having a tough time of it.
I'm going back to bed with some chicken noodle soup.
Yeah, take a break and we'll see you, I don't know, 3 months from now when we decide to do another episode. Let's get started.
All right.
So if you want to make it from scratch, go ahead and watch the entire way through and we'll see how we got here. If you want, you can also just do a cake mix and get like a thing of frosting. In which case, click the annotation that's over here. That will bring you forward to this point so that you can skip the by hand stuff and just get to making cake balls. Well, we have our first casualty.
The Apothic Dark is a very evil wine.
Well, it got a little bit of paper cut. There's a romance in darkness. It draws our curiosity and beckons the desire to taste the unknown. It definitely sounds like something that would try to like slice you open as you're doing so. And yeah, sure enough. So we have a little Yoda Band-Aid to make up for it.
Yay.
Because it's appropriate with your guys' shirts.
Yay!
Awesome. So now that we've got that, and maybe also using the gloves just to make sure that, just to be super safe when you're working with food. kitchen safety, guys. Okay, so what's the first thing that we're doing?
So we have to preheat the oven to 325 degrees.
Next.
So the first thing we want to do is cream the butter until it's smooth. And that's one of the reasons why they say to have it at room temperature. It's easier to cream
Oh,
out.
you mean the butter that's still in the fridge?
Yeah.
Booyah! Okay, so this is the first thing that goes?
Yes.
Cool, we can put it in the bowl and toss it in the microwave for a couple seconds.
Alright, and the thing about this mix is at the beginning, it's very liquid, so you want to make sure you have a big enough bowl that when you're mixing it's not going to fly everywhere because it's
got
red wine and it stains.
Room to slosh.
Yes. Now that we have the butter softened, we're going to beat it so that it's nice and fluffy and soft. Oh, we're doing this by hand.
Well, you could use the electric mixer. It's in the corner.
Steph knows more about that one than I do.
Steph Cameo!
Hold the woo note. I'm like, what?
That's alright, we just get you a vuvuzela.
So cup and third cup are the measurements we'll need. Oh wow, that needs to be rinsed.
Alright, what are we doing with this? Beating it until it's nice and smooth.
Yay!
Cream the butter until smooth. Okay.
While I'm fumbling over here, we'll get all these dry ingredients measured out.
It's just fun to watch them fumble.
Yeah.
That's why I'm semi-successful on YouTube, is because people like watching others fail.
It's okay, I'm used to people watching me fail on my web series.
Ah! Well done. Watch fail first dates.
Shameless. That's so wrong.
Don't worry, I'm packing it nice and firm.
Oh god.
I feel like I should just like montage me fumbling and you guys being productive.
4 hours later.
Shut up.
Really well. We have re-softened the butter. Yeah, that's creaming nicely.
Yeah, there we go. That's actually doing a thing. Yay!
That's creaming nicely.
You guys don't realize that took us about 10 minutes.
Good job.
And by that, I mean
I
it took me about 7, and then everyone else used their breaks.
Usually I cause it.
Yeah.
Now we are adding in the sugars.
Firmly packed.
Firmly packed. Oh, there it goes. Plunk.
Here's 1/3 so far, or 2/3 of granulated sugar.
And then one more of each of those going in.
Each
Should
of
I
those.
should I start with this while you guys are
Yeah.
packing those? And then does the wine go in after this one, or a little bit more dry ingredients first?
We add the eggs first, and then the red wine and vanilla.
Guys, the wine is going in so early it's gonna be really wet. But first, all the dry ingredients. What? 2/3 of granulated sugar is now in.
2/3 of a cup of granulated sugar.
No,
If we
no,
like it.
2/3 of a grain.
2/3 of all of the sugar on the planet now in this cake.
Beating until fluffy, about 3 minutes.
And you wanted to do this by hand.
And then the next thing we're gonna be
I
putting
just
in.
didn't know any better, which is kind of a common theme. She doesn't even watch the show and she knows this. I met her 12 hours ago.
Next thing is gonna be the eggs. So 4 large eggs, room temperature.
These are only moderately chilled.
I don't think that was 3 minutes.
No, I'm gonna crap. No, whatever. It's gonna be like, oh, stuff is like caked on everywhere. We're gonna help fight now. Whatever. I just won't touch things. Everyone else cook on my show. Sit back here and soak. You're like, okay.
I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Hello, Internet, I'm your new boater.
Hold on, you need less of
I
this.
bet.
Hold on, you need this. And less of that.
You always run so
And
slanty.
that.
Get the pedal on braid.
Bring back the braid.
Bring back the braid.
braid!
I'm trying to think. Yes, I did have the braid while
Season 1.
during season 1. That's right. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Well, it's good enough. That's yet another common theme.
Look
You
at
have
the dark
patience
side
to
is
wait
us.
3 minutes?
I can't even wait for the ad to finish.
Then
Like what,
we're gonna add the 4 eggs. Right, 4.
Yes, 4 eggs.
So we got the eggs. Whisk and then put in there.
We can actually just put them right in here.
Oh, duh, because it's a f***ing beater.
Less work for us. How great is that? That's why these things are
Right.
amazing.
Think smarter, not harder.
So we'll get the red wine and vanilla ready.
Ready. It smells nice.
Yeah?
2 cups.
Yes.
Fill my cauldron with darkness. Leaves you about
Okay, so
how
much?
1.5 bottle
Yeah, there we
to
go.
enjoy during the rest of
And
your
then
day.
how much?
2 teaspoons of vanilla extract.
Let's
You
see.
can actually add it right in
Teaspoon.
To the what?
Oh, it is little!
2 of these?
Yes.
It's so cute.
It's a little.
It has everything.
Just like R2 himself.
Thank you, R2.
Go back to sleep.
Go back to sleep.
Now for this part, especially if you're using a mixer or something that, something like this, a bowl, you want to go a little bit slower, pour it in gradually, because if you pour it in all at once, I found this out the hard way, it goes everywhere.
Yeah.
So, you want to do a little gentle there.
Okay, so we're gonna start adding this slowly. I will be useful over here.
Bring forth the mixture.
It also says it's okay if the batter looks a little uneven. I'm not really sure what that means, but that's okay.
If it looks like Chewbacca's son.
Is this the Star Wars special, apparently?
I'll make Wookiee cookies next. Yeah, and if there's anything solid in there, it helps that this is actually so liquid as it is right now because it'll allow it to break up more than if it were very.
And it looks a little grainy, and that's like part of the unevenness is that the red wine kind of doesn't want to mix, but.
That is liquid as
Right? That's why you don't want to have this splattering everywhere. The next step, it says to sift the flour, cocoa, and baking soda, baking powder, cinnamon, and salt. Whoa. Right over your wet ingredients. So we're gonna take a moment to get all that put together so that we can slowly add that into the mixture as well. So we have the 2 3/4 cup of flour.
How about you get the knife away from her thumb that has already been cut open?
How about
Yeah, because you have the tendency to cut people with butter knives.
Oh, there's a story. I want to know the
He
story.
cut himself with a butter knife.
Oh, that's not nearly as fun as cutting other people with a butter knife.
I'm a little afraid that this might be the first.
Would you like to know more?
Would you like to know more?
We are not picky about our sci-fi references.
We've got 1 1/3 cups, it says Dutch cocoa powder. We have dishes.
We gave in to corporate consumerism, much like the Star Wars franchise.
I failed it.
Oh. Good enough. Just like the Star Wars franchise. Okay.
Oh.
Do you have like more of those shirts, or did you just get the one made for yourself?
I just got the one made, but I can always get more made.
I'd be down for a space conflict shirt.
All right.
If you'd be down for a space conflict shirt, leave a comment below and we'll see what we can do to help you out. It'll cost $2 million.
But Republic credits will do fine.
Cinnamon, we need 3/4 teaspoon.
Oh my, that's the sugar. Just waft that in.
We got a whiff of the cocoa powder. Oh. I can't figure out how to get this open.
Can I?
Oh. You've never opened baking soda? There's a little tab on the side that says open here.
Oh,
do that before you open up the entire top of it.
I don't know how this works.
Guest episodes have so much more footage to go through.
We're making it fun for you.
Yay. This will be out in April.
So we've got the soda, powder, cinnamon, salt.
One.
It's a little less, so that balances it out. 2.
This one is just right. Thanks, Goldilocks.
Mother Goldilocks. Bleep that shit. Bleep that.
So, with the dry ingredients, you want to kind of mix them up a little bit. And then you're going to slowly pour it into your wet mixture until you've got a little bit left. And then what you want to do is you want to take your wet mixture and you want to actually fold it in manually. Just so that you don't over mix the actual.
Okay, careful. Oh, there we go. Careful, you must be Want me to grab the knife and I'll just kind of like try to direct it in?
Yeah.
Pass the knife, please. Alright, I didn't mean to cut your other thumb with the butter knife. Brian, maybe you should be doing this so you have an excuse.
That should be good.
Okay, so cool. So we're keeping about this much left?
Yeah.
Alright. The rest of this is gonna mix in.
Minimal spillage.
Yeah. Teamwork! If I could say teamwork without my voice cracking, that would be pretty swell.
Teamwork!
Teamwork! Oh, that's looking good.
Yeah, that's looking like cake batter.
Yeah, like before it was like, I'm a kind of chunky mess, and I was like, you're cake batter! Good for you!
Okay, so with this then, you can transfer it into this bowl.
Okay,
And
so
mix
this
it by
transfers into there. Cool.
It's like we're really on a cooking show. You can count. Oh, it just smells so good.
I know, oh my god, I can't wait to get this in my face hole. Okay,
Every comment on every Boaters Cook something from now on is going to be #facehole.
so just all of it straight in?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if it was a little bit, folded around, a little bit more. Okay, I got this.
Why is that amusing me?
Because it looks like
I have
food.
a juvenile sense of humor.
You are a child.
Then once you get this all mixed together, you want to divide it in between your 3 cooking pans. Because it's a
Okay.
3-layer cake.
Even though we're not doing it as a layer cake, there's enough for
If
3
you wanna
layers,
keep it.
so we'll do the 3 pans.
Yep.
Alright.
Make sure everything bakes out evenly, so
Yeah.
just do it the way it's intended.
Yeah. And then we mush it all up.
And
Yeah,
then
and
we
then it's gonna-
destroy this cake!
Yeah.
And...
Yeah, plop.
Ow.
Yes.
It's going to taste very strongly of wine because the alcohol has not been
Oh my, yes. Darn Skippy. Okay.
Darn tootin'.
There's also the uncooked egg. Yay!
Yeah.
I think everybody lied to me when I was growing up. I never got sick of salmonella.
Not even eating salmon.
Witchy.
Cleanup is important. If you drop anything like that.
We could do the whole clean as you go thing, but who really does that?
Ah! Cleanup is for me to worry about before filming the next episode, which was last episode, so oh, so this has been preheated for ages. We need cake pans.
What?
Cookie
What?
spray.
That really does work well with that.
The answer is yes. So now dumping these into the cake pans and then into the oven they go?
Into the oven they go for 25 minutes.
Awesome.
Or until the cake tester inserted into the center of each layer comes out.
25 minutes. Okay, so those will be in there for 25 minutes, as we already said. So now we're gonna work on the frosting while those are baking up.
So the last step is obviously to make the filling. The feeling.
Feeling? Ah! I got a feeling!
The filling. The mascarpone cheese filling that will go, typically will go between the layers and everything like that, but we're gonna use it right in the.
Just mush, 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 mush.
So you need 16 ounces. I cannot talk today. It's all the wine I have in the mix.
I can't sing ounces. I can't turn that into anything. I'm sorry. I can't save you on that one.
16
Look
ounces
at these
of
sconces.
mascarpone cheese.
Spoon!
Thank you.
Just like the tick. Carry on.
My wayward son.
Any requests, YouTube?
Because screw you.
Oh. Why did you lose subscribers this week?
Oh, I have no idea. Must have been Brian's face.
Oh.
Drive to unsubscribe.
Wah, wah.
Oh.
Wants to clean the cups.
The sink does.
Yay!
Don't break them.
Then we get 2 1/3 cup of the confectioner's sugar.
Yeah, those are the cups I need before Boater synced them. Trying to help, guys. I'm like, oh, I have the cup and I have the 1/3 cup. Exactly what I need for this confectioner sugar. Who would like to clean them? Apparently domestic violence wants to clean them. Thanks, Boater.
You're welcome, Brian.
I hate when we fight!
This is something you can also use the KitchenAid for, but it's.
Oh, you're adorable trying to still do this while we're yelling at each other.
It's awesome.
What is happening to my show? I don't know yet because I haven't filmed it yet, but I bet the Canadians were better behaved than you were.
Don't count on it.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land. Yeah, don't forget, we become the studio audience.
Oh God, no.
Yes! And we've had wine.
And we have a whole half bottle left for us.
Here's the studio audience.
You're doing great, sweetie! Bring back the brain!
Hashtag bring back the brain.
Focus. Focus.
Hey, it's clean.
How'd that happen? Thank you, Sink.
Thank you,
You need a
Sink.
hand?
You just gonna clap for me?
Yeah.
And yes.
What? Hey! My scepter! Please don't throw anything in the sink right now. Least of all me.
And then a 1/4 teaspoon vanilla extract. Do we have a quarter?
It's probably over in the sink.
Oh no.
It's like 2 drops.
Oh my god! Okay, we're good.
We love them wearing because we love vanilla. It's not gonna be easy to mix. It's going to require a lot of elbow grease. Oh, we need a pinch of salt.
Salt.
No, less than that.
Sorry, that was about 3 pinches.
Yeah.
Praise the exalted one. Waka waka waka! Hey!
They can't all be gems.
No, but they can all be gem in the holograms. Because that did terribly.
Do that.
Did you lick your hand? Ooh, this just tastes good.
Feels like I just had 2 bites of Chinese food.
Boater would like to apologize to every local Chinese restaurant in the area at this time. He's sorry. He's very...
I am very sorry that I just licked salt off my hand.
He's sorry.
We still got about 15 minutes left on the cake. Getting this all stirred up. Is this pretty much, once that's all whipped up, that's done?
Yep.
Awesome.
You want to taste test to make sure it tastes good? Oh. Disarmed! Anyway,
So taste testing.
the one with the juvenile line.
Oh my God, I'm so psyched for this.
It's got voters' approval.
It doesn't have a crap ton of sugar in it. It's got Bodie's approval. All right, so now this will sit here and we're waiting for the actual cake parts to finish baking.
And we're gonna need like a spatula or something to like dump these out.
Brian's gonna hurt himself.
So this is the most important part to making cake balls. Now,
Yeah,
normally,
prior to now, everything that we've done up to here has basically been you could do this with a cake mix. And
Yes.
most previous years we have. We're just, let's see what we can do from scratch. Now this is where it becomes cake balls.
yes. So the key is you've made your nice cake, or in this case, all 3 layers of a delicious cake. Now we destroy the cake. Very carefully, make sure you are wearing your oven mitts.
Because
Take your
these
cake.
just came out of the oven
They
like
just-
30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
You know, so we're not letting them set or anything. We want them to be pliable and
Yeah,
not solid cake.
The trick is to do this while the cake is still warm, so when you're mixing the frosting in, the whole mixture is malleable. So it becomes one malleable mush
Good idea.
of cake and frosting deliciousness. So
We are washing our hands back here because we're going to be using said hands.
that's the one downside is once you've got your cake and mixture put together, the best results to getting the balls rolled is generally speaking with your bare hands.
It's Hulk blood.
That one just came out whole.
Oh, are we gonna have enough room in there? Alright, well, off we go. Time for an adventure.
I smell the wine burning. No, we need this.
Why did you offer it to me?
I don't know.
This is not what going in my
Why do you not think things through?
Why do you not think things through?
I don't know why I think you should be thinking things through.
I never asked that question until I tried it the first time.
That's right, exactly. So, now we've got our chocolate and our
Got the cake,
mascarpone
and we've got the
mound.
filling.
Everything gets mashed up. This takes a little while, but just keep at it. Eventually you'll see everything kind of disappearing, and you'll notice the cake being a little less crumbly and a little bit more mushy.
So again, with the filling, not only does it get all the taste and everything in there, but it does help to hold it together as well.
Yes,
You
exactly.
said, the difference between if you have like the cake pop bakers where it's just the cake like that, so it's going to be thicker, it's got everything like that.
Yes.
It's not baked into the ball, so the filling helps to hold it into the ball as well.
Just a little sideline action there, friends and
I
family.
just happened to look up and I see Steph just laughing. I'm like, what's going on over there? Oh, he's picking up the dog and throwing her out the door.
If you are doing this with a mix, generally speaking, 1 box of cake mixture and 1 can of frosting is all you'll need to get the results, and it'll get you about 3 dozen cake balls, depending on how large you make them. So with this, we're not sure what the proportion is going to be due to the size of this recipe not necessarily being a mixture size. So we are going to see how many cake balls we can get out of here. So now we have our frosting mixed in very well with the cake. So everything looks very moist and lumpy. It looks like it was baked, but it doesn't look like it's dry like when we first brought the cakes out. So now what you want to do, this is very warm. I like to use a spoon to start off with, or you can just use your bare hands. But you want to take a chunk and just start rolling it up into balls. Now, with my last cake mixture, after a couple of balls here, the cake does tend to stick to your hands, so you will need to rinse your hands off, after every 3 or 4, let's say.
Okay.
So just be mindful if you get a lot stuck onto you, it will kind of prevent you from being able to keep these together because it'll want to stick to what's on your hands and the ball will want to crumble apart. So if you start to see that, that's normal. Just rinse your hands off and keep going.
Awesome.
So most of the cake balls that I make are about an inch and a half or so,
Inch
a little
and
bit
a
over
half
an inch.
diameter.
Obviously, you can make them smaller if you want more balls. If you want them larger, you just will get fewer out of your batch, but make them whatever size you please.
Talking about cake balls.
So basically, they're just going to end up looking like meatballs for a little while here. See, like this will start to break off a little bit here, sometimes if it sticks to your thumb or your fingers, so just keep mushing it around. The gloves might be a little bit better depending.
Stick close to your hand a bit.
Well, with this particular mixture, we have different ingredients that weren't necessarily in what I'm used to. So with this experimentation here, the consistency might be a little bit different. So this might, want to crumble a little bit sooner or a little bit later. And the nice thing with this, since we're not baking them again, we don't have to worry about spacing them out as much. So once we get more made here, we can actually start putting these like right next to each other and that'll be okay. So I'm actually gonna start doing that now, just so we got more room on the plate here.
So we made a discovery. Whereas I'm trying to do this still barehanded, we realized, partially due to an injury that we had earlier in using the glove, that it actually works better using the glove than barehanded. So when I finish fumbling with this one, which has been today's theme, then I'll be washing my hands off and going gloves, as we see these two doing right here.
We're going to recommend using the vinyl gloves instead of rubber gloves, just because it is doing very well not to stick to any food
And
product.
latex, of course, has that little powder coating. Don't think about that in your food.
There you are, sir.
Thank you very much.
Just finished cutting them all into the ball shape.
What we want to do is put them in the refrigerator or the freezer for a little while. That way the balls will set in their formation there, and also the colder temperature will make them easier to ice.
That'll be there, what do you think? Like, into frame.
Well, I think that'll be good to have them in there for about 20 minutes to an hour or so.
20 minutes to an hour, so thanks, good buddy. We'll see you in 20 minutes to an hour.
As you're getting ready to take your cake balls out of the fridge, you can get your icing ready. Now, what I like to do is use various candy wafers. For the red velvet, I like using either vanilla or white chocolate. If you're doing any other kind of cake recipe, you can use a different flavor for yourself, any regular kind of chocolate, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, whatever you think is going to complement your look or taste best. So I like doing the red and white with the red velvet, so I usually stick with either vanilla or white chocolate. If you have a candy melter with a little dish, you can use that, or you can use a saucepan. Just be very careful to do low heat, because if you heat these up too much, they will congeal instead of melting. So you just want to be very careful with melting these down, and just do a few at a time. So just add a little bit at a time, add a few more, and then keep it going. Don't try to clump the entire bag in at once, because then it will not maintain a consistent thin dipping sauce. So you can do it in the microwave, but again, just do a couple at a time, be very careful, and use a clean bowl every couple of rotations, because again, if that candy keeps getting reheated and reheated, it's going to congeal and stick, and it's not going to be very good for icing your cake balls. Alright, so the cake balls have been in the fridge for about half an hour now. Now the 20 minutes to an hour or so, it's a minimum. You know, you can keep these in there overnight if you wanted to, as long as they're not frozen solid, like keeping them in the freezer or something. If you want to keep them in the fridge, you can do it overnight. The point is to have them nice and shaped and congealed, so you can pick one up with a fork. We've got our melted vanilla candy over here, and you just want to get it nice and coated all around. Now you're probably only going to be able to get about, 3/4 of it or so covered, and then you bring it over and you drop it onto a plate. I like to throw down some wax paper. Thank you, Arlen. And there we go.
You can tell they're done right because it was staying on the fork the entire time.
That's right. So what I'll do usually is do a bunch of these, and then with a spoon I'll come back and ladle over the top with the extra vanilla. So that way the whole thing does get covered by the candy. So we'll dip a couple of these, we'll cover them, and we'll see how they turn out. Be very careful with this. Obviously you're going into a very hot saucepan. Yeah, it's starting to congeal a little bit more, so it makes it a little bit easier for a moment, and then a little bit harder once you get it.
Harder because it's congealed.
Alright, so we got 4 here. 1, 2, 3, and 1 for our ever-patient camera person who has been with us through 2 episodes now. Here you
Yay.
are. So anyway, cake balls. Grab one. Anything else you want to say about them before we dig in?
No, just enjoy.
A great dessert that has been an awesome kind of tradition through our celebrations of the past. Oh my god. Oh my god, that was so good.
The wine really pops out in this version of the recipe.
Yeah, definitely.
In a really good way.
Yeah,
So
and I mean, it was a lot darker wine than I think normally someone would be, so I think that didn't help to bring any of the red color out. No, that's what someone makes it's gonna be better, but no, it's delicious. This is awesome.
Yeah, color notwithstanding, this is perfectly delicious.
Brian and Arlen, thank you very much for joining me, both for the party and for the episode as well. Brian does a lot of acting tip videos and a lot of stuff on his channel, so click his happy eating face right here and that will bring you to his channel. Link is also in the description below. Do you have a YouTube channel?
I do. I don't have a whole lot on it, but I got some.
Alright, awesome. So her face and in the description below for that as well. You can like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe down below. If you want to get more videos, you can follow me on facebook.com/votercooksomething, as well as facebook.com/voterbug, twitter.com/voterbug, and support me on patreon.com/voterbug. Thank you guys very much for watching. Have a good one. Our final guests are here, so we will see you next week.